Hey there. Welcome to Client Success Secrets, the show. This is Patrick Heron, founder of the Brave Advantage. And the answer that we're trying to find is to this question: how can more entrepreneurs taking marketing courses finish them and get the results that they wanted? As you know, there's a huge problem in the online education industry, and that is that there are too many entrepreneurs buying online courses and joining coaching programs on marketing so they can make their dream a reality, but most of them don't finish them. And what I propose is that we make a shift from blaming the client to empowering the client so that they can achieve more using your frameworks and getting the results that are promised. This is extremely exciting. Today's episode is going to be divided into three sections as usual. So let me give you the quick overview. So first, I'm going to go through the client success secret of the day. So today, especially, I am going to walk you through a strategy that is going to help empower your clients to take charge of their journey. So as a marketing expert, if you do this correctly, you'll be able to deliver greater results to your clients and free your time and stress. So you're going to want to hear this. Section 2 is about my journey. So I'm going to be sharing what I've done following and implementing expert secrets. So I do hope that you're familiar with the book, that you've used it to grow your business, because it's just fascinating. And what I'm going to be talking about is how I spent the last 2 weeks implementing the framework to teach frameworks. So as you know, I have worked diligently on building my framework called Comeback Coaching, which takes me to section 3, which is revealing a strategy, a piece of my Comeback Coaching framework that it will help you turn unsuccessful clients or people who are stuck into confident action takers who get results from your proven frameworks. So stay tuned, because there's going to be some epic value delivered. Are you ready? All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is the concept of self-accountability. Self-accountability basically means that you don't have another person holding you accountable, no one but yourself. And this is such an interesting concept, because not always we have access to a person who is going to be so invested in their entrepreneurial journey like we are. That's the reality. So you can find your partner, but things fall off track. One of you is putting way more than the other. You end up growing apart. You go faster, your partner goes slowly. There's just too many scenarios why a group accountability could go wrong. And I'm not saying you don't try it. Of course, you always should seek an accountability partner, but at the same time, you will not want to rely on that so much that nobody's doing the accountability if you don't have that other person. Self-accountability is about setting goals, checking your progress so that you know where you're at in regards to your goals and what's the gap between what you're doing now and what you need to do in order to be successful. And this process is so powerful because a lot of people underestimate it. So the first thing is that, according to science, just by sharing your goal with another person, you're already increasing your chances of achieving that goal. On top of that, if you do have an accountability partner who can check with you over time, you increase your chances of being successful even more. So how does self-accountability work? What you need to do, and I learned this concept many years ago when I was taking an online course called Coach Yourself to Success Online. So the expert was Telaine Middlener, and she is a master certified life coach, and she is my inspiration. Her books were my first contact with coaching as a profession, and she inspired me to become a coach myself. So she's a really important person in my life. So I was taking her course, and she proposes something that I didn't see in some of the other books that I read, which is this, self-accountability exercise. All you're doing is a very simple exercise. It's so powerful. All you're doing is answer a series of questions. every week so that you're keeping yourself on track. So you will ask questions like, what did you achieve this week? What did you learn this week? What are some of the, what did you promise yourself to do but didn't do, right? So in that, it helps a lot to give you perspective on what you're really doing. And one of the biggest problems that entrepreneurs struggle with is that they take a lot for granted. And by that, I mean their hard work and their progress. It's very easy, and I have fallen into this myself. It's very easy to dismiss any achievement that you made just because it doesn't translate into thousands of followers or thousands of dollars. That's the reality. And social media is not helpful in that way at all. We are constantly exposed to somebody else's success. And then we start comparing ourselves with them, and then our self-esteem deteriorates. Everything that we do looks worthless, and we just go fall into that negative spiral. So please don't attach yourself too much to numbers. But it's easier said than done. So rather than just telling you not to get attached to that, which is not good advice, I'm going to show you how you can use self-accountability. So I did this exercise from Selene for an entire year. Her online course was that long, and I was doing that exercise every single week. And then when I look back, it's so critical to look back to those assignments. I realized all the stuff that I had done, and my progress was insane. I was making progress in so many different areas of my life, like fixing my home, eliminating clutter, improving my finances, improving my relationships, improving my sleep, getting better, getting into better habits. Like, so I had done so many things, right? And the coolest part too, let me add this on top, is that you will see what you have achieved. You will track your progress in business, but in life as well. So one extra secret, which is blended into this strategy, is that you cannot put your life aside and just focus on the business. That is a big mistake that a lot of people make. That is a big mistake that I have made, and it's just never going to work. So at best, you will experience success in business, losing a lot of other important things, like damaging your relationships, deteriorating your health, among others. So this exercise is just great. So, and it builds momentum. Like there are so many benefits to people that are not so clear at first sight. You build momentum, you're making consistent progress. The mere fact that you're tracking already adds value to the process to the progress you're already making. And then over time, you start to realize when you look back, the worst thing that we can do is not look back and see where we were before. We're going to make a lot of progress. In fact, this is one of the very special techniques that I like to call a system of inevitable progress. This is one of those very few habits that are progress no matter what. So regardless of the immediate results that you're getting, regardless of how many people you're attracting to your business, you are making progress because you are investing in yourself. You will show up in life as a better person, but it's more than accountability. We're talking about your growth, and your growth is critical to your success in all areas of your life, including business, of course. So with that said, let's move on to the section 2, which is what I'm working on this week. And you will be surprised how connected all these ideas are. So as I said, I am working on the process laid out in Expert Secrets. And these last couple of weeks, I was particularly working on the framework to teach frameworks. So how this works, in case you need clarification or you've done this too many years ago, the framework to teach frameworks basically solves the problem of giving people information, valuable information, and that they don't appreciate and they are not inspired to act upon, which is the death of your expert business. So if people don't value the information that they get, it's going to be a lot harder for you to sell anything, and it's going to be a lot harder for your clients to take action. So it is important for you to utilize a framework to teach frameworks. And let me actually find that page in the book where Rosenberg talks about this framework. I'm just going to show you the doodle when I find it and then explain you what I've done. Honestly, I really love this book. Like, it's crazy good. I really need to look at the index instead of shuffling pages randomly. So where are you? Where are you? 48. This is also very important for your social media strategy. You are going to teach your frameworks. You teach your frameworks so that people get it or don't get it. You're going to get the feedback so that you know they got it and they are valuing for what it is and obviously take action ultimately. So here's the doodle from the book. I hope you can see it clearly right there. And how it works is that you're telling a story of how you discovered your strategy. Then people will see that you put a lot of work into it, you experimented, that you did it yourself, that you help others implement it as well. And that is how people end up valuing more. So just like every story in marketing, the goal is to increase the perceived value of what you're telling them. The next part is to explain your framework step by step. And then after that comes the tactics, which is every smaller step that people need to take so that they can actually implement it. So we go from the big strategy to the specific how to, what you do in every instance. And then you talk about the social proof, where you simply tell a short story of how it helps somebody else. That's the whole like teaching frameworks. And what I've done in the last couple of weeks was to build my framework right here. So I have this binder. Nothing special, just plain binder, but I've been writing on this thing almost every night. And I found something so fascinating. So let me tell you about what I got. I wish I could share everything with you. And we're talking about 20 or 30 pages of work that I've done. So, for instance, here I have some notes about the third piece of my framework, which is called breaking the fourth wall sessions. And this framework is my process for turning clients who are stuck into confident action takers who get results using your proven framework. This is a critical piece for you to deliver greater results for your clients because you just can't do everything for your clients. I would love to be able to be the solution for everything that they need, but at some point, I'm going to need them to take charge of their journey. And so do you. If you want to deliver greater results, you can't do everything for them. I mean, I totally get that. That's not what you signed up for. So this is my 6 phases process for turning clients who are stuck into confident action takers who get through your program and get results. By the way, if you're seeing my eyes going up and down, is that I am looking at my folder right now. So the first time I learned about accountability, so this is, I'm following in real time the framework to teach frameworks. So the story. I first learned about accountability coaching from Talaine Mitterner in her course called Coach Yourself to Success. Sounds familiar? Two, whether you have a person to share with or not, I could set goals and stay on track by doing this simple exercise. Being an introvert, that's me. Being an introvert, this seemed like the perfect approach. I did it for a whole year every week. So that's the story, right? Many years later, so this is where it continues. I started up implementing accountability on my own clients. Many years later, I launched a coaching program in my YouTube business called YouTube Full-Time Creators. And one of the best parts about this program was the accountability. But accountability, I know a lot of coaches throw that word out there as if it meant something really important, and it is. But accountability is more than just having a Facebook group or showing up every week to a live call. Accountability is a process. That's why answering these questions is so important, and that's why you have to have a process for people not only to hold themselves accountable, but also to grow as a person as they go. Over time, they will become the confident action takers that you need them to be. So when I launched YouTube Full-Time Creators, I knew that accountability was key for my clients to to their success. So I decided to facilitate weekly sessions. My clients and I, these are real story, and I was so proud of what I managed to build with my clients. They and me, we developed deep intimacy. So I got to the point of not only recommending and encouraging self accountability on their behalf, but also I was doing it for myself. With my clients, I was sitting down and sharing my successes and my struggles live in those sessions. So they were watching my journey as much as I was watching theirs. And that alone built so much trust. Like they were not afraid of sharing anything with me. We built together. I didn't do it alone, even though it was my idea. I didn't do it alone. And together we built that safe space. And that's one of the most powerful things you can do, because when they feel safe, they're going to dare to do more. And that confidence, that courage is exactly what's going to move them forward in their journey. Allow me to continue. We were all willing to share our wins and struggles without feeling judged and only expecting support. My clients showed up to every session. At the time, I was so crazy that I was facilitating daily sessions for YouTube coaching. I really went crazy with the support. Not a good idea in some ways. I mean, it's simply not sustainable. In other ways, it was a great idea. And we were doing that every week once, but we also had other sessions that were focused on content creation and YouTube analytics. And trust me, those clients showed up every day. Monday to Friday, we met at the same time and they were there. So they were taking action and they were improving their content month after month. It was working. But now I have something different that I want to present you. And that is fourth wall breakthrough sessions. So I upgraded the accountability framework to a whole new level. And now we are hitting section 3 of the show, and that is comeback coaching in action. How you can turn unsuccessful clients into confident action takers and get results using your proven framework. So I want to emphasize the proven framework aspect of things, because having a system of success is a very important piece. So if you do this right, but you don't have a system of success that's proven, things are going to get really hard. Obviously, you are a person with a proven framework. So you will be able to benefit from this strategy from day one. So are you ready? Before I get to that, I want to tell you about the 3 types of accountability. This is very important if you are a person who has a certain lifestyle, who has a certain desire for freedom. This is going to help you big time. So listen to me. There are 3 types of accountability. The first one is self-accountability. We talked about this quite a bit in the first section. So you will give a questionnaire to your people so they can track their progress and plan their next steps. That type of accountability requires no involvement on your behalf. Just give them the framework, give them the instructions on how to use it, and let them take charge of the client's journey. The second type of accountability is group accountability. So when you are hosting group sessions, they could be specific to accountability. So accountability is not something that you just blend to every other teaching session. You actually have one session dedicated to accountability only. And then the third type of accountability is one-on-one. So if you are a coach or an expert who works one-on-one, I highly recommend that you host a breakthrough session for accountability every month. And as a matter of fact, even if you're doing group coaching or one-on-one coaching, I highly recommend that you do this exercise just once a month. I used to think that you needed to do this every week, and it does work to some extent, but it also burns people out a little bit because they are constantly seeking to collect all the goals and all the challenges that they're going through. And that doesn't always work too well because certain things just take time. And then if you have a project that takes 30 days to do, you're not going to want to right every week that you're not hitting that goal. To me, that's pretty self-destructive, and also you don't want to spend so much time on accountability. You may want to do like 2 hours in a day in a month, and that's it. It's not the thing. Like I must admit that that was a mistake on my behalf, and support is more about. It's not just about giving your attention to your clients. It goes well beyond that. You have to be smart, and you have to understand that people are not machines. It's not like the fact. It's not like being by their side constantly is going to make them successful just because they have no choice but to take action because you're watching them. That's not how it works. There are times where you need to be apart so that they can start thinking and implementing by themselves. You don't want to create that dependency with your clients. Otherwise, their lives fall apart as soon as the support is removed. And that has happened to me. And I have no doubt that it happens to thousands of entrepreneurs every day. We are building, remember, turning clients who are stuck into action takers. That's what we're doing. And this is the process. So now I'm going to quickly explain you how my 6 phases breakthrough sessions work. And seriously, you have pretty much everything, not really everything, but almost everything to implement this strategy yourself. Are you ready? Now let's take this page from my folder binder. So the phase 1 is progress, the progress phase. In the progress phase, you're going to acknowledge your achievements and insights. Insights is a really cool word that I use for lessons or learnings, but you know exactly what it means. You're going to acknowledge that, again, once every 30 days. Phase 2 is what I call failure analysis. So you're going to identify and finish tasks, anything that you promised yourself to do, but didn't, and anything that you know you're struggling with. So you're going to be writing those things, or at least reflect about those things. Not everybody likes to write everything. I do recommend it, but you can always, do the exercise somehow in your head. You can't do every step in your head though. Step 3, resourcefulness. So this is the moment where you identify all the resources that are available. You have to think about your struggles and unfinished tasks so that those resources are going to help you move forward. And some of the resources that I identified over the years are mindset, so some kind of new attitude that you need to adopt, strategy. So the strategies are resources because you're not doing guesswork. You are taking someone's strategy that you know it works for them. And that is, even if it's not perfect, that's necessarily going to move you quicker than figuring everything out by yourself. So mindset, strategies, tools. Do you have or can you get a certain software, for example, that could help you, overcome your challenges and move forward in your journey? Then you have people. This one is key. So people is mentors, friends, family, colleagues, everyone in your circle who somehow could support you in your journey. This is extremely important. No one can do this work alone. And even if you're not someone extremely relevant, like your own coach or a co-founder for your company, you still have people around that could support you. So tell them what you're up to. Help them, let them help you stay on track, right? Step 4 is problem solving. I really like this phase because one of the biggest reasons we don't solve problems is that we don't dwell. I like to use this word in this case. We don't dwell with the problem long enough because there are lots of problems, small ones, that we deal with every day. They're overwhelming. They are so annoying, we don't want to spend any time with them. But that is precisely the reason that problems drag on. Because if we stayed with the problem, if we looked at it and analyzed it for long enough, we would come up with better solutions. So there's going to be a phase, that's phase 4, where you're going to dedicate to problem solving. Look at a problem from different angles and come up with solutions. And you will find them. Let me give you a word of warning here. The fact that you have the intent to solve a problem that is, really slowing you down or bothering you, doesn't mean you're going to get all your answers right away. As a matter of fact, I want to recommend you take this exercise imperfectly. So you don't have to answer every question perfectly. I'm not, no one is going to grade your breakthrough session assignments, but you will want to be thorough. That's all I'm asking. Phase 5 is what I call your game plan statement. There is a template for this, but I'm not going to give it away today. And that is your game plan statement is to set a 30 days goal. So, what I really love about this step is that it almost works like a reverse headline. So, you know how a headline in a way is the step that I'm describing to you right now, how to turn unsuccessful clients into confident action takers who get results using your proven framework. That is some sort of headline. And what I like about why I like this concept called reverse headline is because you are setting a goal using that foundation as your template. So let me give you an example. I said I was not going to share the template, but I'm just going to share an example. You might be able to figure out what the template looks like, but let me share this with you. All my ideas are stored in this file. I have a Trello board with ideas that will just blow your mind. I have hundreds of ideas right here. Okay. Oh, you know what? No, I don't have an example here. I know I wrote it somewhere today. As a matter of fact, I think I know where I put that. 2 seconds so that I can read that example for you. This is fun. So your game plan is your 30 days plan. And let me give you a funny example. My goal, this is what you or your clients could be saying at the end of the breakthrough session. My goal for the next 30 days is to launch a course. Why not? That's a good goal. By adopting an imperfectionist mindset, use the $1 million course framework, someone's strategy, this all-in-one software, no endorsements here, without letting distractions or lack of time get in the way. So you can tell why headlines inspired this game plan statement. So that's it. And you're basically putting everything together. That's what you're doing when you're using this game plan statement. And honestly, it's so great because you remember everything in just one sentence. You will remember to use those resources. You will remember to adopt a certain mindset so that you don't get in your own way. And you will remember exactly what you're aiming at. So what your goal is. And you have 30 days to do it. And that's another problem that I wanted to bring up right now, that courses in coaching programs are so crazy, negatively speaking. They're so crazy about their timelines. To me, their timelines make no sense, honestly. I've taken courses where they promise a result in 8 weeks or 12 weeks, and usually taking like beginners. If you are one of those one-on-one coaches guys who works with experienced people, there's a good chance that they will get results in that time frame that you're promising. They could see results in 30 days, 60 days, and even 2 or 3 weeks. Like it could work this way because you're building off of a good foundation. You're fixing other things, so they go from making a sale once in a while to making consistent sales. I've talked to a lot of business coaches who work in that way, and it makes sense, and they can actually afford to make wild promises because they can deliver them. In one part of it is that they don't work with beginners. However, there are too many marketing experts out there, especially the kind that I want to work with, that promise beginners to go from zero to God knows where in 8 weeks or 12 weeks. To me, though, that goal setting is completely unrealistic. So if you want to feel bad about yourself, or if your clients want to feel bad about themselves fast, they're going to believe that they can get everything in 12 weeks or 8 weeks. That is absolutely not true for 99% of people. And I'm going to get to that on another episode, the 99%. That's a big concept for me. And that is your game plan statement. And then the last step, so we have 6 phases, remember. And I really love this step because you should never delay on getting started anything. The best moment to start anything is right now. So now you have a plan. You will be prepared to some of the contingencies that will come your way. And your phase 6 is take the first step. This is extremely simple. All you need to do is look at your plan, identify the first step, and take it right away. And if you're unable to take that step right away for whatever reason, let's say that you spent 2 hours doing this exercise. I don't really think it takes that long, but myself, I am extremely trained in accountability coaching. So if you're not, if your clients are not, it could take them 2 hours, and that's may sound like a lot for some people, but honestly, you'll be doing this only once a month, and it's going to make such a difference in your journey. So back to the possibility of you not being able to take action right away, you schedule. You see, if you've seen some of my past episodes, I am a big fan of scheduling. So every time you can't do something that you know that you need to do, you can't do right away, schedule it. You're going to do it in your phone or your online or offline calendar. And because it's there, you're instantly increasing your chances of getting it done. And that is one of the key, but that is one of the cornerstones of your success. So if you don't act upon it, almost nothing will happen. Almost. So there you have it. That's the process. I gave you almost everything. I know that there are a couple of big things that I left out, but honestly, I just don't think I should cover everything in one show. But thanks a lot for listening, and get started. All right. So listen to this episode again on your own time. Take notes on what all the 6 phases are for your breakthrough sessions, and start coaching your clients on accountability. Again, you can take advantage of self-accountability if you don't want to spend too much time, which is understandable. If you have 100 clients, it could get hard to meet with all of them, even if it's a group session, and support them as they deserve. But if you take advantage of self-accountability, you can teach these processes that I laid out for you to your clients, and they will take charge of their journey. So you're going to save time, and they're going to get better results. So don't delay. Schedule a time to write down these 6 phases, and let's rock and roll. Thanks for coming again to the Client Success Secrets Show. And I am going to be live again next Wednesday, March 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, like every Wednesday. So stay tuned, and I will see you next time. Take care.